Welcome to my first video on how to cook using canned food. So over here I have some daily canned foods that are very common you can find. So we have the luncheon meat, we have the mushroom, and some other things that you usually find at home. So what I'm gonna show you is that how you can cook gourmet dishes, right, with a staple and a canned food at home. So today the canned food that I'm gonna use will be easily found butter mushroom, luncheon meat, this $3 piece of chicken breast from Giant. I'll be using salt, pepper and garlic as well. So look at cheap materials to create a dish, right? Now the first thing we're going to do is we want to butterfly the chicken breast, because I'm doing a serving for 2. So you do is cut from the center. So this way, right, you have 2 pieces of chicken breast, one here which is a longer piece and the other one is a much smaller piece. The first thing you have to do is you have to season chicken breast. You leave the seasoning on for a few minutes while we work on the supplementary dishes, which is the butter mushroom and the canned food. So what we do for the butter mushroom, right? For all canned food, the first thing you have to do is you have to drain them. So bring to the side, right? You have to drain all the butter mushroom. This is the only way you can prepare your canned food, right? You drain them and then you give a quick wash. The next canned food that I'll be using to supplement the dish would be the luncheon meat. Now this whole luncheon meat, when you open it, this is how you see, right? So after you get the luncheon meat in half, you can cut it in half, right? What I'm going to do here is I'm going to deep fry the luncheon meat into crispy pieces to complement the chicken dish. So let me make sure they are evenly sliced. Now I have 8 slices of meat, okay, actually 9, that should be enough. So for the butter mushrooms, right, what we're going to do to the butter mushroom is I'm going to slice it. So after you prepare all your necessary ingredients, right, here comes the best part, the cooking. So you ask yourself, what do we cook first? The luncheon meat, the butter mushroom is actually preserved, so it's already cooked. So you don't need long time for the butter mushroom. The luncheon meat, you need more time because you need to deep fry that. The chicken, for such a thinly sliced butterfly chicken, you need only 5 minutes. So we have to make sure what is the key of the dish. The key of the dish is chicken here, right? So the first thing that we shall do is to deep fry the luncheon meat, and then we leave that aside for it to cool first before we go on to the chicken, then the mushroom. Then lastly, we will move on to plating the dish. So the first thing that we do is we heat up. So here I have a bit of olive oil. Alright, you just put what is required for the luncheon meat. So if you are going to pan fry the luncheon meat, you need a bit more oil than usual. Alright. The main thing here is that the olive oil has to heat up. If the oil does not heat up, well, sufficiently enough, the meat will not be right. Well, after frying, right, then when it's brown, we will turn it over. So make sure that it's evenly fried on both sides. In a few minutes, you'll be crispy and done. So the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a few sauteed mushrooms. What does sauteed mean? Sauteed means slow cooking in butter, right? So the way saute works is you use butter as a medium of oil, and then you slowly fry it under low heat to get the desired taste and texture. So here I have the mushrooms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of pepper because, like I said, preserved food are naturally salty because salt is one of the medium they use to preserve the food. So never add salt to your preserved food. Okay. Now, here I have butter. Everyday butter you can get anywhere. So the thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to cut a slice of butter. Use a pan. This will be the medium of oil that we're going to use. Alright. Let the butter heat up as usual. So after the butter is melted, before we put the mushrooms, right, we put some garlic in for the taste. So we spread the garlic across. Right. And then immediately we throw the mushrooms in. Remember, it's all done under low heat, so we got to minimize the heat to a minimum. Yeah. So the mushrooms are already more or less cooked because the mushrooms, remember before, they are already cooked. So after we saute the mushroom, you say you put it in for about 4 to 5 minutes under low heat. So what I'm going to do here is my mushroom is going to be the base of my dish. So over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to line the mushrooms up with butter. So now I have butter and garlic, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it the same. I'm going to put the olive oil that I had just now from the previous luncheon meat back into the pan. Alright. Put all the garlic aside. Clear all the garlic, because we don't want them to continue cooking. So right now, right? So my favorite way to cook the chicken would be olive oil, a tinge of butter, because the taste of butter is wonderful, just a little bit of it. So butter mixing with the olive oil. Remember, chicken has to be done under medium heat, so let's not get the heat up too high. Okay. So now I butter and oil mixed in. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna the main course, right? I'm gonna pan fry the chicken. So this is a thinly piece of thin sliced chicken. We want to retain moisture in the chicken. So after about 2.5 minutes on each side, we can flip the chicken, then another 2.5 minutes and we can serve it on the plate. Okay? So after we're done with one side of the chicken, you can see it turn brown. Then we turn over the chicken. Right. Those black spots on the chicken, they are the garlic that's left over from the mushroom, which you should clear before you put the chicken in. So you can put it in for about another minute, then we can take it out. What's important is to make sure that the center of the chicken is moist, so we don't put it for too long. If not, the chicken will dry up. So right now the chicken is about done. So total cooking time should be only about 5 minutes. You should not exceed that. So what you're going to do now is you're going to plate the chicken. Alright. Find the side that's more beautiful, which I think is this side. You're going to put it on top of the mushroom. And following that, we will layer the ham. Will be my final creation. Now I have no idea what to call this dish yet. So this is what we do with a main dish like chicken, and then we use the chicken on a bed of tin can mushrooms, which no one can tell. It looks like fresh mushrooms. And so this is how we can turn a canned food into something into an accompanying dish with a main staple like chicken. So I have no idea what to call this dish yet. Maybe if you have any ideas, please feel free to leave a comment.